Okay, so the 592 build. Um, well, let's back up a little bit. Last year was a rough year. I crashed my bike on a big jump, fractured four vertebrae, as well as other bones, and I was off work for months and not doing anything with saws or cutting for months. And as soon as I could, I got out here and started building saws again. So I've been busy. I've been turning out a lot of stock builds and mild builds just to extra saws that I've had laying around just to get some cash flow and stuff while I was off work. And that's that. I don't mind doing that, but now I want to get into some fun stuff. And now that I've been back to work for a couple months, I want to get back to doing like fun builds for me, just building my own saws and having fun and documenting it and sharing it and being part of the community. And I started this YouTube channel maybe a couple years ago, and I've kind of just been little bits and pieces. I've been documenting, go out, cut, have fun and stuff like that. And I made some YouTube shorts and some for fun content, but I haven't had a lot of time to do like longer form content. So I'm not opposed to it. We can document this stuff and have fun with it and try it. And if it works, great, then you know about it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. You know, um, like I said, this is a way for me to get away from work. This is my my escape from it. I come out here. I'm a weekend warrior. I don't sell any goods or services. This is just a fun way for me to get away from it, really, and just do what I love to do. So, all right, the 592 build. Let's talk about this saw. This saw was, I think it got crushed by a tree, and a lot of the plastic was broken. And then it started getting parted out. And I bought it uh, like a box of junk. So we're just doing a build. We're just doing a full build, and I've it's taken me months to get the parts. I mean, Husqvarna is not the best with parts, and there's been a lot of things back ordered, and a lot of things that I've been trying to source from different places. But I think I have all the parts now to finish the saw. So I've been thinking the last couple of days about how do I want to build this saw. Like, of course, I could just build a stock 592 and it's going to cut wood great and it's going to be a great saw. But what can we do to make it even better? Guys are porting these saws. I mean, they're getting 8-10% better power. They're spreading out the curve on them without losing much at the top. So, well, I've kind of got some ideas for it. I want to do a base gasket delete, and the stock squish I know is on this saw 22, 24 thou. So how do we do a base gasket delete? Well, we can cut the band, or we can do a custom piston. And I kind of want to cheat a little bit and do a custom pop-up piston and take the crown down 20 thou or so, and leave a nice tapered up pop-up, like a dominant style or something, pop up to boost the compression. And then we could play around with the ports a little bit, and maybe we could try to add some flow and um, just try a couple things and see what they do. So let's take a look at the saw. The cases just came out of the parts washer, and they're looking good. I mean, like I said, the saw had some damage, but I've really looked over the cases well, and they look good. There's no cracks or anything. The cylinder looks good. It's got just some lines in it of normal wear, but no scoring. So it'll be a good starting point for our build. Um, so let's start with the intake. Let's start at the beginning with the intake port. The Strato ports, I don't know why they're so rough. You know, I'm not really going to do anything with the Strato ports. You know, I mean, there's a ridge. There's a ridge right here at the bottom of the Strato port. You know, it probably doesn't have to be there. I don't know why that's there, but
Bluetooth disconnected.
that doesn't have to be there.
Pairing. Bluetooth connected.
The intake port also has that ridge. There's a ridge here that's probably, you know, 20 thou at the most. That is, you know, I don't love that. That to me could get chamfered back down right on that ridge. And then on the inside of the intake port, at the most that I want to do here, and it's got a nice flat bottom. So let's work off of that. If anything, I might just open up this bottom corner a little bit and maybe taper that up, but I don't want to do anything drastic. Just maybe put some shoulders in to the bottom of the intake and just get that dumping into the case well. That's about it. I'm not lowering it. I'm not going to do anything drastic to the intake. Just get it flowing good, clean it up. You know, it's pretty smooth. It's the intake port is a lot smoother than the Strato ports, as you can see. And so what we'll probably do is just maybe just chamfer that bottom ridge down a little bit, and then score this all up, rough this all up real good inside here. And that's about it for the intake. The transfers, I think there's some meat on the bone with the transfers. I don't necessarily think this needs to be here. I think we can open that up in the center and kind of dish this out a little bit and gain some flow there. The outside edges of the ports are really sharp knife edge. So I think what we could do here is just kind of take that knife edge down a little bit on the edges. And as you can see how they're kind of ovaled out here, we could probably oval those out a little bit back up into the sleeve. It's just a little bit on both sides, just a little oval out, and take that knife edge off, and just kind of, and then we'll just go in here and kind of open all of this up a little bit, and then re-score it up, re-rough it up, so it's got a nice rough finish to it. That'll probably be the plan for that. And then looking at the exhaust port, there's a ridge here there's a ridge here on the top of the exhaust port that's about 50 thou. So with doing the base gasket delete and adding the pop-up piston, I'm not afraid to go into that ridge. And I don't know if we'll go up all the way, but at least 30 thou and get it raised up a little bit. And then, well, we look at the numbers. The exhaust port is opening at 101 without a base gasket and closing at 101. So we've got 158 duration, which is great. I really don't want to change that much. If anything, we'll just change that a couple degrees and get that duration up, 160, 162 or something, and get the blowdown matched. Like I said, we've got a little bit of coverage on the bottom of the transfers. So if we taper at the top of the transfers up 30 thou, just to try to match and keep that 20-degree blowdown. So that's about it. And then the exhaust port, it's running a width of 34 millimeters with a bore of 55. So that's a 62% exhaust port. And you can see that there's a bit of a ridge again right here. There's a bit of a ridge. Not as much as at the top of the exhaust port, but there's a ridge on the sides. So just by taking that ridge off, if we took a millimeter and just with a drum sander, just rounded this off a millimeter on the outside edge, that'd put us up to 36 millimeters, and that'd put us up to a 65% exhaust port. So, and you can see here that the exhaust port it's really not even matched to the heat shield or the muffler. You can see carbon buildup here. You can see there was carbon buildup on here that fell off. So this port could be opened up and cleaned up, smoothed out all the way around the top and the sides, and matched to the heat shield and the muffler, because it's not right here. You can see the port is smaller than
Bluetooth disconnected.
what it's going into.
Bluetooth
So
pairing. Bluetooth connected.
That's probably the plan. Just a fun build on the 592. Just a little bit of cleanup, porting, and opening things up a little bit, and then we'll go. I want to try to get somebody to put it on a dyno. We'll put it on a dyno, and then we'll just see. Did it work? Where did it work? Where did it not work? Did it not work at all? Don't even try this stuff. But I think that it should, with the pop-up and the base gasket delete and the cleanup porting, we should gain some power, right? I don't know. We'll find out.